Ah.
My uncle Doug would have been 90 years old in 2 weeks. He died on Christmas Day, if you can imagine. So pretty recent. And, he was there all my life. And every time we saw him, we visited him, he was always smiling. He could always find something to laugh about.
Donna Wilson lost her uncle a few months ago, and her experiences of grief led her and other University of Alberta researchers to study grief in 10 participants, asking them whether or not humor is a trigger for their grief or a coping mechanism. What they found, it's both.
One interesting case, it was a woman who'd lost her beloved husband almost 2 years before. And he was really funny. He liked humor. He always told outrageous stories and enjoyed a good joke and always was laughing. And she felt it was really inappropriate to be hearing humor.
Wilson says some participants shared that they'd be hit by waves of grief if they heard jokes their loved ones would have enjoyed if they'd been alive, but that 8 out of 10 of them used humor to help themselves and others take a break from grief.
One person I interviewed said that just in the first few months after her husband died, someone sent her a really funny cartoon joke on, I think, St. Patrick's Day. And she laughed. And she said, that's the first time I laughed in about 6 months.
Sometimes when you're laughing, when you're laughing really hard with your friends and you're almost laughing so hard you're crying, you don't really know if you're laughing or crying. I think that's a clue to us that the way our physiology is wired, that, those two are interconnected.
An Edmonton laughter yoga instructor says that when he practices laughter as exercise, he touches on something that feels like stuck grief. So if grieving Edmontonians want to tap into that, he shares one laughter yoga movement.
Arches backwards, and I'll be like, and I'll shoot back. Right? And so there's this motion in the physiology that kind of opens up that channel for laughter.
So even though the cemetery doesn't seem like the best place for laughter, after hearing from Wilson and Fung, maybe you're considering whether or not humor could be a trigger for your grief or a comfort or both. There's only one way to find out.
You may be surprised to find out a good joke can make you remember your Uncle Doug or your whoever it is you're grieving, and just accept that is normal. Grief is normal.
In Edmonton, Sarah Chu, City News.